What is up, guys? Welcome to our second episode of our series of how to create a flawless makeup application. Today we're talking about foundation, and I'm going to be telling you guys exactly what products I love and how I use them in different seasons of the year. Now, if you haven't already, I would really love it if you guys can like this video and subscribe to my channel. We are new over here and we would love all of the support. And with that being said, I just want to thank you so much for those of you that have liked my content, engaged in my content, and have subscribed. Let's jump straight into the first foundation. Starting with the first foundation, which is super affordable. This is the Catrice True Skin foundation. Now, this foundation I never really thought that I would necessarily like, just because it looked super high coverage, but I've kind of learned how to work with this. Now, this is a hydrating foundation with hyaluronic acid and it is super long wear. I can actually say that the claims on this foundation is so accurate. Now, what I absolutely love about this foundation is not only is it high coverage, so you need minimal product, it is super affordable, but it also has a skin-like effect. So even though it is super full coverage, it doesn't look cakey on the skin. I'm not exactly sure what shade this is because the shade has been rubbed off. I think this might be beige sand. But just to swatch this product for you guys, you can see it is super creamy, it is super high coverage, but it still is lightweight and skin-like. I just have to say that this foundation does oxidize a little bit, so rather get one a bit lighter. But if you are looking for an affordable foundation that's going to last you so long and you've got more normal to dry skin, I would highly recommend this one. This one is definitely going to slip around on you if you've got oily skin. If you've got combination skin, you can definitely get away with using this one by using a mattifying primer in your T-zone. But with oily skin, I would stay away from this one because it is super hydrating and it might not stick. So these next products I want to talk about are phenomenal. These are the RCMA makeup kit palettes, and I honestly don't know what I did with my life before I got these. So I'm going to show you my main palette first, and then I'm going to show you the little add-ons that I have that I work into my routine. So this is the RCMA Makeup Foundation and Concealer Palette. This is in the shade VK number 11. And yes, she has been used already, so just mind the mess. But I absolutely love this formula. So you've got all your different foundation skin tone colors. You've got brightening shades, you've got warming shades, you've got contouring shades. And the beauty about this palette is that you can mix together pigments to create your perfect foundation shade. This is honestly my favorite kit when it comes to creating a flawless full beat moment, makeup that's going to last through the whole entire day, makeup that's going to look good in real life and on photographs. I do think if you are an oily gal, I'd highly recommend using this with a mattifying primer, a mattifying powder, and a mattifying setting spray, because these are cream based products, so just know that. However, if you're someone with normal to dry skin, even combo skin, again, if you prep correctly, it will work. This is so gorgeous. It is worth every single penny. Tati Beauty raves about this, and it's for good reason. Now, when it comes to these two add-on palettes, wow, I'm absolutely obsessed with how well these products work with the rest of my other products. This is their highlight and contour palette in the shade Light, and this is like my favorite travel friendly product. You literally don't need to take a bottle of foundation, you don't need to take contour. This is so stunning. You've got brightening shades in here, you've got concealing shades. I'm not necessarily a big fan of how this looks under the eyes. I do have a favorite concealer that we'll talk about. I do love how this is just such a versatile palette. You've got your contouring shade, you've got a warm bronzing shade, you've got brightening shades, and then you've got a yellowy shade here. Again, they are cream based, so they are so stunning and they're long lasting and they work well with other cream based products. Now, this bad boy is very special. It is very unique, and it is something that you need in your kit as a makeup artist or someone that just tries a lot of different makeup and you kind of want to play around with your makeup. This is the RCMA Foundation Adjuster palette. Now, I actually got this palette because I have a foundation that I'm obsessed with, but it's ever so slightly a bit too golden for me when I'm not tanned, and I want to be using that foundation every single day of the year because it's so good. I'll get into that in a second. So I wanted to get a palette that I can mix with my foundations to create the perfect shade. So with this palette you're able to do so. You've got obviously dark pigments, you've got blue pigments, you've got orange, yellow and white. So I tend to reach for the blue and the white just to kind of change the way your foundation looks. I don't have the most amount of knowledge when it comes to color theory. I just kind of do research, watch TikToks obviously, and try to see how I can use this product and mix it together with my foundation to get the right shade. And so far it's been working really well with me, so I would highly recommend you add this to your kit. By the way, the RCMA kits are actually linked in my storefront. They are available on Amazon, and then for our South African lovers, they are available on Muse Beauty as well. I just wanted to mention I actually have tested out shipping from Amazon to South Africa, so I'll keep you guys updated. So far the process has been super easy and super convenient. So if you cannot get your hands on the products at Muse Beauty, however they do restock quite often, you're more than welcome to check on my storefront. They are on my Amazon storefront as well. So next up is a foundation that is kind of like sheer but also medium coverage depending on how you build it up. This is probably one of my most worn foundations just because of how skin-like it looks. It's so lightweight, it gives the most beautiful amount of coverage. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Sheer Long Wear Makeup, and this has got an SPF of 20 in. I use the shade 3C2 Pebble, and I am going to swatch this foundation to show you guys how watery it is first of all. But for you to be using this product, I'm going to give you guys some advice. It is very watery, but I would highly recommend you blend this foundation out with your fingers first of all. You guys can see it's got a beautiful coverage to it. It's very skin-like, it's very lightweight, it's very hydrating. This is such a stunning foundation. But if you're going to be applying this with a damp beauty blender, you're going to be sure that you're going to lose a lot of product. So what I like to do is I like to apply this to the face. I use my fingers to blend this out. I leave it for about 2 to 3 minutes to dry down a little bit, and then I'll take a beauty blender, a damp beauty blender, and then I'll just very lightly with a very light hand just tap over the rest of the face to work the product into the skin, but also to pick up any excess product that might be lying on top of the skin. This foundation is literally made to look skin-like. It is so good and so hydrating. Do I actually prefer this over the original Double Wear? In the summer, no. In the winter, absolutely. In the summer, I'll still reach for Double Wear just because of its longevity, and it looks phenomenal under film. You guys probably know what this foundation is, and yes, it is so stunning for a very good reason. This is the L'Oreal True Match Nude Plumping Tinted Serum. Now I have it in the shade 3 to 4 light medium and 4 to 5 medium. So 4 to 5 medium is more of my shade that I wear when I'm tanned, and 3 to 4 is obviously my shade when I'm not tanned. This is such a stunning affordable foundation. I have to just say again, blend this out with your fingers on your face first. It has more of a watery serum consistency to it, so if you're going to be applying it to a beauty blender, it is going to suck into the beauty blender. Either apply this with a brush first or apply it with your fingers, which is my favorite way of doing it. It really works into the skin. It gives you light coverage, but you can build it up without it looking cakey. It really dries down beautifully. Now, similar to the Estee Lauder one, it is very watery. I haven't applied a lot now, but once you start blending it out, this one is thinner in consistency to the Estee Lauder one, but again, this one is very lightweight, very wearable, very hydrating. Now this one has ever so slightly less coverage than the Estee Lauder one, so if you love the texture, the way the foundation lies on the skin, and obviously the feeling of that foundation on your skin, but you still want a little bit more coverage, then I would highly recommend checking out the Estee Lauder one. It's got ever so slightly more coverage than the L'Oreal one. Now last but definitely not least, this is my baby. This is the foundation that I said that is a little bit too dark for me, but I want to use her every single day. I've got her on my skin today. She never disappoints me, whether I use a beauty blender, a brush, my fingers. This is honestly the most stunning foundation I have ever tried. This is the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. Just look at how stunning this bottle is. This foundation has got so many skin loving ingredients in it. So not only is it a foundation, it's actually a foundation that is going to improve your skin over time. You guys can read the claims when you research this foundation. Now I've got the shade 175 Light Neutral. And if I just tell you how gorgeous this looks on the skin. Now this has got apparently 3 different types of silicone. You guys can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. 3 different types of silicone in, which explains how beautifully blurring and softening it looks on the skin. It doesn't irritate my skin. It honestly doesn't make me break out. It doesn't dry out my skin. I used to stay away from silicone based primers as well, just because of how it kind of like dried me out. But honestly, I found products that are silicone based that are fantastic, and this one is one of them. So I'm not going to pump a lot of this out because she is my baby and I actually really want to use her. So she is high coverage. She is medium to high coverage. She is completely buildable. She is softening on the skin. She's hydrating. But the fact that she's got so many skin loving ingredients in her makes me obsessed with her even more. Because not only am I applying a foundation that I love, I'm applying a foundation that looks good but is so good for the skin as well at the same time. I've actually obviously tested the theory of using this palette to change and alter the foundation, and it doesn't change the formula at all. It looks so stunning on the skin. So this works beautifully with that as well. Now guys, just to kind of reiterate the basic steps of choosing a foundation is to make sure you're choosing a foundation that works with your skin type. I've mentioned this before, but you need to make sure that you know your skin type so you can choose products based on your skin type. Again, for example, if you've got oily skin, you should stay away from hydrating cream based products because they are going to tend to slip around on your naturally oily skin. If you've got more normal to dry skin, you can get away with hydrating cream based products because they will line your skin beautifully, keep your skin hydrated, and they will last as well. Again, making sure you're using the right primer, the right powder and right setting spray is also a golden rule when it comes to making your makeup last. Thank you guys for sticking around to the end of this video. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, bye.